on what makes for a successful people's representative. Your extensive experience and dedication to public service makes your visit particularly meaningful for us. Mr. Rao's journey in public life has been inspiring. Starting as a strong advocate for Telangana's statehood movement, he has been a committed leader in his community. His career started when he joined the reputed Telugu daily newspaper, Inadu, as a news contributor. He subsequently enrolled as an advocate in the Bar Association of High Court of Andhra Pradesh, showcasing a multidimensional commitment to public service that few achieve. With degree in science, law, education, and human rights, Mr. Rao brings a wealth of knowledge and perspective to his role as a people's representative. We look forward to learning from your journey, Mr. Rao, as well as your thoughts on what it takes to truly serve people in a way that makes a lasting impact. I'm certain that this session will be both insightful and inspiring for everyone present here. Thank you for being here, and once again, a very warm welcome to you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. So I have been called to here by one of my colleagues, MP. I think you are well aware of him, Mr. MP Vizag. Mr. Bharat called me and he said that we are running an institution in the name of Kautilya School of Public Policy. Then I heard for the first time from the mouth of Bharat, and I said that I started my career as a teacher. I completed my Bachelor of Education from Karnataka University. So I thought that after a long gap I am getting an opportunity to interact with the students. So I accepted for it, but after coming here and after seeing the infrastructure and the way in which the school of Kautilya has been developed, I am very much impressed. Because without making any money, generally all the institutions in this country or any organization in this country is nowadays running out of the money. But your Kautilya School of Public Policy is something different. I'm really appreciating the management and lecturers who are making you to be the future policy deciders or makers of this country. So I'm more practical, sir. I've been born in a small family of a rural village of 400 population, which comes from the old Medak district. Now this Medak district has been divided into 3 districts. One is Medak, the other is Sangareddy, the other one is Siddipet district. 3 districts it has been divided. I'm from a small village. I studied in a small school of Telugu medium. Up to 10th class I am a Telugu medium student. After that I joined the school of Siddipet, and from there we started learning something in English. So before that, as you know, and you are from different states, if you go to your government schools in your local states, how the schools will be. So we started our journey from there. So from initial days also, no one is from politics in my family. So no one is attached with a political family, or no one knows anything about the law or anything about the politics also. I'm from a small, poor family, and I can say below middle class family. But from the early days of my school life, and then when I joined in my intermediate degree, I wanted to become a political leader. So that was my ambition. My father's intention was to make me a doctor. So he forced me to join in intermediate by PC in English medium, so that my son will become a big doctor. And so he might have thought that doctors will learn in a good way, so that I should make my son as a doctor. But in one way I can say that I have been forced to join the BIPC, but my interest was something else. So I completed my intermediate with BIPC and graduation with BSc BJEDs in Bachelor of Science. From there I have taken a different eras. After that I completed my Bachelor of Education. After that I joined the journalism, and I joined in a Telugu reputed daily called Inadu, which made me and which learned me all these things. Telugu people, students, other than Telugu students from both the states are there. They might be the gates to cut the grass, to serve the pani. So all 4th class employments is given to the Telangana people, and the cream is being taken out by the Telangana people. This is the reason why we all started movement of Telangana, and it was an old movement. In 1969 also this movement was there. From there the leaders of the central government have suppressed our movement. Later on it was redeveloped in the year 2001. From there we started the movement of Telangana. Somehow the people of Telangana succeeded. After a long battle of 12 to 13 years, our state has been separated as the 29th state of this country, that is Telangana. And now again it is after the bifurcation of Jammu and Kashmir, I think now the country is having only 28 states. I am not wrong and subject to correction. So you being the future leaders and you being the future policy makers, so So how you want to make the policy and how you want to interact with the leaders or the bureaucrats, that is more important. When it comes to the matter of public policy, the policies or the decisions which were taken by the government or the bureaucrats that should help the people or the public of this country. Then only whatever the policy or whatever the decision is taken by any political leader or a party which is ruling the state or center will help the public, and he will have some time, and he should have some 2 times, 3 times he will be given an opportunity to rule the country. Otherwise, the people are more intelligent than leaders, and the people like you also, who are the policy makers and the intellectuals. Most of the people, by sitting in the AC rooms, bureaucrats and some political leaders will think that we are much more clever and better than the people. But a common man's idea and the common man's thinking will be always different. You know, in this country, when the price of onion has raised from 1 rupee to 2 rupees, the central government has been totally changed. One aspect. The government served the country for 5 years without any problems. But a day has come before the central government that the price of onion has been increased from 1 rupees to 2 rupees. Then the total government scenario has been changed. This is how the common man will think. So while which are very good to listen and to think about all those things, it will be very good. But when you come to practical, so most of the problems will be something different. If anyone is following me on Facebook or the YouTuber and any TV channel debates, you'll be surprised to hear a small sentence. I think you are all familiar with law and legal subjects also. Generally, if you are riding a motorcycle and going on the Hyderabad roads without helmet or without any number plate, then immediately in one corner, one constable will come and he will take a photograph of you. Have you, any one of you faced such type of things? I think someone might have faced those things. So the basic question is, being a practicing advocate, I am practicing and I am an advocate since past 20 to 30 years. I am into the legal practice. So can anyone ask any of the police officer, or you can interact with the police officers who comes to your classroom also. Is there any law in this country which permits any individual or any police officer to take your photograph? This is the basic knowledge. So this you don't know. Because everyone will feel that whatever the police is doing, it is right. Because they are the law-knowing people and they are law-avoiding citizens. But in one TV channel debate once I said that that was a very bad incident. One guy, he tried to escape from the police constable by taking up the photograph, so that he covered his face with one hand and he was driving the motorcycle with the other hand. He tried to escape the photograph. That was the intention of the person who is riding that motorcycle. This constable was too clever and he tried to stop that gentleman, and there was a stick in his hand and he has thrown that stick onto the motorcycle rider. So unfortunately it went and hit on his face and he fell down on the ground and he lost his life. So after that I went on that day for a TV channel debate. So I asked the anchor, there was a police officer in the debate. I asked him, is there any law which permits you to take the photograph of any individual? So there is no answer. He said that my officer is saying I am doing it. So I said that there is no such law permits to take a photograph of any individual. If you have broken any law, or if you have been made an accused in a particular offence and a particular case is registered against you and you have been arrested by the police under Narcotic Drugs Act or any other act which is having more punishment, you send a notice, I'll pay 500 rupees fine. Otherwise you do one thing, you put all the helmets there. If I am not wearing the helmet, instead of making me to pay 500 rupees fine, you take 1000 rupees and give me an helmet so that you can save my life. This is how the discussion of the policy has to become. So the police are taking the fines only to get their department financially strengthened, but not they are not taking care of implementing the laws. This who has to ask? The policy maker should think it. So instead of putting 1000 rupees fine, 1250 fine, 1500 fine, you stop the vehicle, you give him a helmet, you make him to pay the 1000 or 1200 or 500, whatever it is, so you can save his life. So this is the difference. Instead of imposing fine, you can make him to learn something and you can guide him in a proper way and protect him in a proper way. So when this comes to you, if you are practical, then only you will be able to know. They are very versed with law for 3 years or 5 years in Nalsar Law University, and you went onto the road and police stopped and he has taken your photograph. You don't know why he is taking the photograph. Medal also. So this is not correct. Theory is different and practical is different. So you should have more time to interact with the people from different areas. Not only from the high-end culture, but you should have seen the problems of these people of these rural areas. India is mostly rural, public is there, and rural people, they don't know exactly what the law says, but they are simply, if they see the uniform, they will feel that police came, so I think I might have done something wrong. So you should have the patience of listening to the people, which is lacking nowadays in politics. The leader should listen to the people. One person, if you know something about the bureaucracy, every Monday in almost in all Telugu states, or in most of the country in different states also, every Monday, collector will sit in his place in the collectorate and he will take the applications from the public of the different areas. And he will give it to the next person who is standing adjacent to him. And all those applications will be kept like that only. Again next Monday will come, all applications will be like that. So this process has begun 10 years back. So my question to you is, every Monday collector is collecting the applications. How many applications he disposed? At least one he disposed. A person today he gave an application, after 3 Mondays again he will come. And again he will give a representation because his problem is not being solved. So these bureaucrats are also not finding time to dispose of the applications. So now recently after electing as a member of parliament, I have given an opportunity to work in the standing committee of the parliament for personal grievances, public grievances, law and justice. Our first meeting went in the last month. My first question to our chairman was a DGP retired and he was a member of Rajya Sabha. And in my committee, most of my colleague MPs were advocates, attorney generals, retired judges, retired police officers. So my first question was this one only. So we should ask the collectors, how many applications you collected on Monday, last Monday, and out of the 100, 150, 200, 500, how many applications you dispersed to the concerned officer, and how many have been disposed of? So there is no accountability. Just the application is coming, this belongs to the civil case, land case, send it to the revenue department. This is an application of the police, send it to the SP. And like this they are distributing the things, but nothing is being solved. The poor layman on the way is travelling from 100 kilometers and coming to the collector and he is thinking that if I give an application to the collector, my problem will be solved. So where is the lacuna you can find in this one is, they feel that they can sit in the AC, they can solve the problems, but they don't have the theory, they have the theory knowledge, but they don't have the practical problem. A person comes, for example, a small grievance which I attended last Monday, a person came, his father died, the title of the land is in his father's name. So he was roaming around the collector and revenue authorities for 6 months to transfer the property title from his father to mother. He is only the one son. So 6 months pass away, he is roaming around the Tahsildar, RDO and the collector, everything is going on. So unfortunately after 9 months his mother also died. Again he put another application stating that my father died, this is death certificate, my mother died, this is death certificate, then you transfer it onto my name. So this process is going on since last 2.5 years. I asked the collector one question, sir, his father died, his mother died, he is only the one legal heir. So what is the problem in transferring the property from one person's name to other person? Why the government is taking 2.5 to 3 years? How a common man will have the confidence in the government or the collector or the leaders? Whenever we will go to the villages, people will come and give applications. Sir, we don't have a proper drainage, we don't have electricity, our current is not coming. Sir, I have taken a loan from person, he mortgaged my property and now the property is not coming to my hands. So the basic problem is there is a gap between collector and the public, because collector will always sit in such type of rooms and he will make some policies and he will try to implement it. But nothing is being implemented in the ground. See, after getting the independence of 75 years of India's independence, still the people are coming for small house, electricity connection, pension, a ration card, then what for we rulers, sir? So my request to you all is, when you are coming into the practical life, to try to be practical. If you want to be practical, try to have interactions with the people only. This is the first step where your life has to begin. So don't fix you a table and a computer and a AC, and don't try to be within the four walls. You try to be open for the public and try to listen the problems of the public. Then only, if you have some interactive sessions, then only you will have some knowledge from the ground, what is exactly happening on the ground. And the second one is, if you are familiar with the law and the laws of this country, then you can have some better advantage in ruling or making certain policies. Without knowing any law, if you are into any public policy or a decision making, then it will be again a problem. which law is permissible in this country and what law speaks about the policy you want to implement, then you should be familiar with the legal knowledge. Then only you will become a good public or policy maker. The other thing is basically what I want to say is you should have the human interaction with the people. You should not be mechanical. You should not be always artificial. So it is 6 o'clock, I should get up, I should run the ground, 7 o'clock I should go for the bath, 8 o'clock I should go to the breakfast, 9 o'clock I should go for the class. This should not be your life. This is an artificial life which I don't suggest also. You should not be like a machine. You should not be like a watch. You should have some human concern. Based on the situation, based on the practical life, you should change your life. You should not be always rigid like an iron piece. You should be always flexible if you want to be in policy making or decision making, or if you want to become the future leaders like me also, you should be always flexible. In any profession, if you are flexible, then only you will become a successful. If you are not flexible and rigid, and if you feel that I know everything, then you are at the failure stage. If you feel that still I have to learn something, if you visit any one of the advocate's office, now everyone is using such type of desktops and laptops. But earlier, if you go to any advocate's office or olden days practice of our initial days of practice also, we used to have a number of the books. All the racks in my room will be covered with the books only, journals only. Why every month we used to get one book from High Court of Andhra Pradesh, and every month we will get one article or judgments related to the Supreme Court. So every month we used to see all those journals. So every case is something different. If you go for murder 302, earlier we used to say it under 302 IPC. All murders are not similar. One murder is different from other murders, and the judgments will also be different. And one judge will differ with other judge. As there is no similarity between all of your 5 fingers, the judge's opinion will also change from one court to other court, and one opinion will change from other opinion. That is the reason why we will always usually see the books behind us when we are sitting in the office, and every time we used to refer the new books and refer the new laws, so that we would like to change ourselves. If you don't want to change yourself, if you want to rigid, if you feel that I am superior, I have passed a degree from Kautilya School of Public Policy, no one is bigger than me, and even my professors are also not bigger than me. I learned everything I know. I am almost equal to Kautilya. I can speak like Kautilya, and I can tell Arthashastra like Kautilya. So I don't think that it will be good for the young generation. But unfortunately, you are being disconnected with the public. Again and again I am saying that you have been disconnected with the public. You are always confined with the classrooms only. You are always confined with the theory only. Please come out from the world. Please come out from the classroom. I am not asking you to break your subjects and come out from the classroom. But whenever you will find an opportunity, you be try to interact with the public. So that is a place from where the policy or the decision or the human relationship will develop from there only. So one will be in different opinion and different angle. If you see India from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, the people will be different, their color will be, they are something different, their ideas, their way of eating, their way of thinking, their way of, that particular region is having some problem, there will be something different. So while making a public policy, you should think that what an Assami thinks, what a Kashmiri thinks, and what a person who is staying in Telangana is thinking. By keeping all these things, the divergency should come from the different parts of the country, and the policy which you have taken and you have developed, it should help the people from Kashmir to Kanyakumari in large number. I am a Telugu officer, I will help for only Telangana, or I will help for only Andhra Pradesh. Such type of public policies will damage the nationality of the particular country and the integrity of the country. So you should be theoretical, you should be a law-knowing citizen, you should have more human relationship and concern, you should give the time for the to at least the person who came to you, at least you will feel comfortable. But the minimum respect from an IPS, he feels that once he gets an IPS, he will feel the son-in-law of this country. All the IAS and IPS, they will think that they will the son-in-laws of this country, they will be respected all time, but they don't respect anything. This is the minimum issue. When I went to take a class for all the young IPS officers, I asked him, is this a manner? If your mother and father comes or goes to any police station in front of an SI, if the behavior of SI is like this, you will not ask that 60, 70 years old gentleman to sit and give a complaint, then how you will feel? So after going there, if he introduces that I am the father of an IAS or IPS, then you will get respect. That is something different. But the chair where you are sitting is not for the IAS or IPS. You want to serve the common man. So that is the reason why you should be always theoretical only. So coming to the years or 10 years or 15 years, whatever it is. So wherever you are taking any accountability or any governance, there should be transparency. But unfortunately, that is lacking in the Indian system. Most of the system, transparency is being lacking. In recent days, when the people are being educated and they started asking questions under RTI, some things are coming out, but still there are certain things which should be transparent, but they are not transparent. RTI Act, sometimes it is misused, and sometimes it is not being given proper answers. The reason for it is every year you will get an answer. It is confidential. They are not asking something about the Indian Defence or Indian Air Force. But even then also, if you ask some files of the Medak district collectorate also, they will say, this is confidential, we cannot give you the information. Without transparency, without accountability, there is nothing is possible in this country. So these two things should also be taken into consideration. So mostly coming to the so earlier it was a developed country with good culture, heritage, good schools and good colleges. But unfortunately nowadays we are not respecting our heritage, our culture and anything. So we are more crazy about liberalization and we are more crazy about the so-called civilization and we are more crazy about the westernization. So unfortunately, you should all know that your name of institution is Kautilya. You might be heard about a university in India called Nalanda University, which is recently reorganized and developed and reconstructed by the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which taught lessons to the world. There was no Cambridge University, there was no Oxford University when Nalanda was there in India. But unfortunately, if you go and ask any parent in the rural area where your kid is studying, my kid is in Oxford, my kid is in Cambridge, otherwise Stanford. So you want to degrade your country and you want to promote something else, which is not good for this country. Our country is a great country, great heritage, culture and democratic values. Even the rulers were also more democratic in this country. If you see the kings and kingdoms, Akbar, Jodha Akbar, I think you might have seen the movies also. There also you will be able to see that the king used to sit like this and there will be some minister this side, then other minister this side. Anyone comes to the kingdom or the king's palace, then he used to be given an opportunity to say his problem. Then if the king is not aware of the issue, then he used to have inquired with his ministers and did it. This is nothing but democracy. So now the people are voting by the people, for the people we are saying, but even in the olden days also, Indian culture was something different and the way in which our rulers ruled is something different. So our heritage, culture and all these things were something different. Now we are planning to become a Vishwaguru, it is not on the papers, but under the leadership of the Narendra Modi, almost the India, I think you might have heard. There earlier used to say only two countries were ruling the world. One is this side USSR and this side USA, these are the two big countries and these two are dominating. I think if you have gone through the newspapers 2 months back, I think if I am not wrong, Mr. Putin was asking and saying a statement. If Narendra Modi is going to mediate a meeting between Ukraine and Russia, we are going to mobilize the conditions and terms that Ukraine puts in front of Narendra Modi. So this is the greatness of our country and our leadership. But unfortunately, some of the leaders of this country and some of the political parties of this country, they will differ with this opinion. Because they want China is good, they like Russia is very good, they think something else which is better. What they are enjoying, they don't want to enjoy. They feel that something which they have not seen, they will feel better. I'll say one word and I'll open the debate. And during the Corona pandemic situation, everybody said that how the India will survive. They don't have masks, they don't have sanitizers. India is a poor country. They don't know the doctors, they don't have the proper beds, they don't have the oxygens. How the India will survive? But I think, and you will also agree with my statement, that India survived in a better way than compared with China, Russia and America. Just because of your mother and your kitchen, whatever the food habits we have, that saved our lives than compared with the other countries. So, but unfortunately, if someone dies in one hospital, it is a big issue for the media. There was a big scrolling. Today 2, tomorrow 3, 4, 5, the number used to be like this. But in some of the journals I have seen in China, a number of dead bodies were there on the roads. But no China journalist will write that 1,000 people died in China. Whatever the China government says, they will write. Today only deaths, 2 deaths in China, only 2 deaths. But you can be able to see 100 dead bodies on the road. But there is nothing like that. But there are certain intellectuals in this country who have been paid by